The Gravity Coil is the original and most iconic Roblox coil gear. When you equip it, it cancels out 75% of gravity's effect on your character. In practical terms, this means you jump much higher and fall much slower than normal. Roblox released the Gravity Coil way back on October 8, 2009, and is the first gear in the Coil series. It is still available for purchase in the Avatar shop. You can buy the Gravity Coil anytime for 250 Robux. Since it's a standard catalog item, it never goes away and it's not tied to any special event or limited sale. In short, as long as Roblox exists, you'll always have access to the Gravity Coil for your avatar. Visually, it's a light blue spring with a steel texture. Because it reduces weight so drastically, your character basically behaves like a feather with legs. You can leap to rooftops or slowly float down from tall towers, canceling potential fall damage. This effect is highly valued in obstacle courses and survival games. For example, in emergency survival scenarios like escaping rising lava or flooding water, players often rely on the Gravity Coil to reach higher ground or survive long falls. The Gravity Coil has been tweaked over the years. Notably, it was nerfed in retro mode of Roblox, so it wouldn't let players fly off into the sky too easily. But in standard mode, it still works as advertised. Equipping it in a low-gravity place like a moon map can even make your character float upward indefinitely, a known Roblox physics quirk. But in normal games, think of it as a super strong jump. The Speed Coil is the red spring counterpart to the Gravity Coil. When equipped, it doubles your walking speed. By default, a Roblox character's walk speed is 16. With the Speed Coil, that value is set to 32. In plain terms, you move twice as fast as normal as long as the coil is on. The Speed Coil looks like a coiled spring colored bright red, also with a steel-like texture. It even emits a faint smoke effect while active, giving a sense of zooming motion. The Speed Coil launched on November 30th, 2012, about 3 years after the Gravity Coil, and is the second coil in the series. You can purchase the Speed Coil for 250 Robux from the Avatar shop. This is the same price as Gravity Coil, and just like all official coils, it is not tied to any event. It's a catalog item and remains available indefinitely. The technical effect of when the Speed Coil is worn immediately wears off. If you unequip the coil, your speed instantly returns to whatever it was before, typically 16. The coil also plays an audio effect, a short acceleration sound, when used. In terms of usage and strategy, the Speed Coil is excellent for in-game travel and escaping danger. In games where sprinting or quick movement is advantageous, it's the most popular choice. For example, in many obstacle courses, players wear it to zip through jumps and time-based traps. In some racing or parkour games, having this can cut time in half. It's also common in survival situations. Outrunning a flood or lava flow is easier when you have double speed on your side. But just be cautious. The coil always sets speed to 32, so if you had a different walk speed boosted by the game, say 35, equipping the coil would override it and make you slower. After unequipping, your speed snaps back to the prior value. The Speed Coil's sprint effect is the basis for some fan-made items as well. For instance, in the game Defend the Statue, a Speed Coil item unlocks sprinting for the hero. It also has a bit of internal confusion. It's technically called the Acceleration Coil in code, but the end user, which is you, sees it as Speed Coil. Regardless of what you end up calling it, the bottom line is simple. Red coil equals to crazy, stupid fast. Third on the list from the 5 official coils is the Regeneration Coil. True to its name, it's the same steel-textured spring as the last few, just tinted green, except that it gives your avatar passive healing. The Regeneration Coil was released on June 14, 2013, with its catalog price being 250 Robux, the same as the first 2 coils. Like the others, it's a permanent item in the Avatar shop. When you equip this coil, it automatically restores 3 health points per second. As an added perk, this healing stacks on top of the game's normal health regen, so you get both. For example, if you're in a game with standard health regeneration plus wounds from damage, the coil will top you up faster than without it. Since Roblox players typically have up to 100 HP, this means the coil can fully regenerate a downed character in about 33 seconds, assuming no further damage. It's important to unequip the coil if you, for example, want to intentionally go down in your health. The Regeneration Coil is useful in long battles or survival games where damage is continuous. For instance, in a shooter or melee game, if you can find a safe spot and turn on your Regeneration Coil, you'll slowly heal through minor damage. In some adventure or RPG-like games, players keep this coil handy for sustained fight scenarios. It's also sometimes used by players if there's fall damage or anything hurting them over time. Because it's a passive effect, it's a set and forget kind of gear. Just wear it and watch your health climb back up. Since many games have environmental hazards or traps, having the extra regeneration can be a lifesaver. It's the "let me survive a bit longer" coil. Just remember to equip it before the fight. Unequipping or dying breaks the effect. No special timing is needed, and you don't need to activate it like a power. The Snowy Gravity Coil is essentially a festive variant of the original Gravity Coil. It behaves identically to a normal gravity coil, and equipping it still cancels out 75% of gravity. The only difference is its appearance. It looks like a light blue metal coil covered in snow and ice. Very cute, honestly. In practice, your movement is the same gravity-canceling effect, but you also see a small, frosty visual effect. When you move vertically or horizontally, you leave icy footprints, cylindrical ice trails when you jump, plate-shaped ice paths when you run. This icy coil was released later than the others, on December 5th, 2014, its price sitting slightly higher than the other coils at 300 Robux, but considering the added drip, I totally get it. And contrary to popular belief, it is not tied to any limited holiday. Despite being snow-themed coil, it's not a limited-time Christmas event item. It is a permanent catalog item listed for 300 Robux. It remains available to this day. In terms of strategy, most players often get the snowy variant simply for its cool winter look. If you already have the standard gravity coil, you might opt for the snowy one for variety. The added visual trail can help in low light or foggy maps since the ice trail stands out. It's still commonly used in the same survival games as the normal coil. For example, in any scenario where you want huge leaps or soft landings, snowy gravity works just as well. One nice thing about Snowy Gravity Coil is knowing you have it year-round. Sometimes Roblox releases holiday-themed gear only in December, but the Snowy Coil was made permanent, so you can show off a winter theme even in summer. The dual gravity coil is essentially two gravity coils in one gear. When you equip it, your character wears a coil on each leg. Mechanically, it decreases gravity by 85% instead of 75%. In other words, it's even stronger than the single gravity coil. The dual coil halves your weight even more, so you jump even higher and fall even slower. To top it off, its appearance reflects this power. It looks like a pair of the light blue gravity coils attached to your legs. The dual gravity coil was released on March 21, 2014. Roblox published it as the fifth and final official coil gear, and because it visually has two coils, its price is higher, 400 Robux. Despite being pricier, it is also a permanent catalog item. There is no event requirement to obtain it. It has been still available since its release, meaning you can buy it from the Avatar shop anytime for 400 Robux. Dual gravity coil is for players who demand the extreme. In games where even a small difference in height matters, the dual coil can make reaching that extra ledge possible. It's also safer for survival. An 85% gravity reduction is very forgiving on fall damage or when sneaking down a long drop. But because of its cost, players often only buy this if they really need the extra jump, and usually opt for the usual gravity coil. However, for those who often use gravity coil, it's a logical upgrade. While that marks the end of the official Roblox coils, there are huge numbers of unofficial coils that definitely trump the official ones in stats. In the Roblox tower defense game Defend the Statue, there is an item called Regen Coil. This is a fan-made item within that game, inspired by the Roblox gear. It is not the same as the official Regeneration Coil gear, but it behaves similarly within the game. The Defend the Statue Regen Coil passively restores your hero's health during gameplay. The wiki for Defend the Statue describes it. Regen Coil passively restores health at an interval. Specifically, its stats grow with game progression, but at base it regenerates health over time. So once you buy it, at Wave 6 for $2,500 in the game's currency, your hero gradually regains hit points every few seconds. The wiki stats table shows that early game it heals plus 1 HP every 2 seconds, and late game it can heal plus 5 HP every 1 second. Once you buy it, it applies permanently for the rest of that match. It is not a limited time event item since as long as you reach Wave 6 in a run, the Regen Coil is always available for purchase. It's also flagged Wave Unlocked in the wiki, meaning after Wave 6 you can keep getting it in subsequent runs. As you've mostly figured out, the Regen Coil item is extremely useful for keeping your hero alive over long battles. Since Defend the Statue waves typically involve lots of enemy melee attacks or damage over time, having steady healing means you don't need to rely solely on medkits. It's ideal if you're playing as a melee hero who tends to take damage and want to extend your life without constantly using skills. Because it's not an active ability but passive, once equipped it works continuously until the end of the game or until you die. In short, there are no downsides to equipping it. The Fusion Coil is a fan favorite in-game item that combines the core features of both the Gravity Coil and the Speed Coil. Since it's fan-made, it's not a purchasable gear from the Avatar shop, nor is it endorsed officially by Roblox. It has, however, been featured in various Roblox games over the years, and continues to be a recognizable tool across community maps. The Fusion Coil is easy to spot thanks to its vibrant purple design and sparkling particle effects. It's primarily found embedded in the code of games like Fighting, Asylum Rejects, and several admin house clones where it's either given by default or awarded through developer scripts. The mechanics behind the Fusion Coil are straightforward but effective. When equipped, it increases the player's walk speed to approximately 28, a significant jump from Roblox's default of 16 we've mentioned earlier. Simultaneously, it boosts jump power to roughly 70 compared to the standard 50, being awfully close to the official Gravity Coil's jump power of 75. This results in a smooth, fast-paced movement style that also allows for elevated jumps and ideal speed for traversing maps or bypassing obstacles. The Coil is a popular option in community obbies and fast-paced combat games where maneuverability is key. Since the Coil is not bound to any one game, its values may vary slightly depending on how developers script it. But across the board, its dual functionality and accessibility have made it a go-to unofficial gear for years. However, the Fusion Coil isn't the only popular fan-made coil. First in the Midnight Horrors game lineup is their variant of the Speed Coil. And unlike the standard Speed Coil found in the Avatar shop, the Midnight Horrors version is a game-scripted item with optimized performance for evasion gameplay. When activated, it increases the player's walk speed to approximately 41 and adds a visually dynamic blue trail that follows the player's movements. This version of the Speed Coil can be purchased for 25 in-game points, which players earn by surviving rounds or completing objectives. Functionally, it doesn't affect jump height or health regeneration, but its substantial speed boost is more than enough to give players a reliable way to outrun many of the AI-controlled enemies. The game is built around sudden threats and reaction-based survival, and the Speed Coil becomes essential when trying to escape certain killers or reach higher ground before being cornered. Because it doesn't rely on external healing or elevation changes, this coil fits a very specific but critical role in the game's loadout system. Next in the lineup is the Ultra Coil, a yellow spark-emitting item that significantly upgrades the standard coil template. This coil combines the effects of both a speed coil and a regeneration coil. When used, it boosts walk speed to approximately 47 and includes a passive healing script that restores around 3 to 5 health points per second. Like the speed coil, it emits a colored trail, this time in yellow, to signify its upgraded status. This coil costs 100 in-game points, making it a premium tier item within Midnight Horrors. It's particularly effective during longer survival rounds or against enemies that deal damage over time. The healing function continues to run in the background while the coil is equipped, and although it's not instantaneous, the consistent trickle of health recovery can be the deciding factor in surviving 2 consecutive hits instead of falling to just 1. This coil is most useful when players need both mobility and endurance, especially during later rounds where escape options are limited and healing items are scarce. It's not extremely overpowered, but it delivers just enough of a statistical edge to reward players who've invested time collecting points. So a win regardless. Among the rarer coils in the game is the Friend Coil, sometimes referred to by the community as the Fanta Coil, named for its bright orange appearance. This coil is not available for general purchase in-game and has a very specific access condition. It can only be used if the player is friends with the game's developer, Captain Spinks, on Roblox. So while technically it's not impossible to get, being friends with the creator is a hard benchmark for the average player. This exclusivity makes it one of the more inaccessible coils in the game, and has led to speculation and admiration from regular players. Occasionally, the coil becomes temporarily obtainable during April Fool's events as a joke, or as part of limited developer testing sessions, but otherwise, it remains out of reach for the vast majority of users. Okay, but what does the coil do? When equipped, the Friend Coil grants a high walk speed, estimated to be over 50 and includes a modest health regeneration effect. While the healing rate is slightly slower than that of the Ultra Coil, the sheer speed it provides more than compensates, allowing players to traverse large parts of the map in a short time, or outmaneuver even the fastest enemies. The coil is also visually distinct, featuring an orange glow and matching trail effect. From a technical perspective, it functions similarly to the other coils, but with tweaked parameters and developer-only distribution. Its rarity makes it more of a catch than its features, but its confirmed presence during special events validates its place in the coil hierarchy. The last coil we'll examine from the Roblox Midnight Horrors is the most powerful and most exclusive of them all, the Owner Coil. Also known as the Super Coil in some versions, this coil is only available to the developers of Midnight Horrors and is not attainable through normal gameplay under any circumstances. Its core feature is its versatility. Unlike the other coils that provide a single or dual effect, the owner coil is fully modular. It contains multiple selectable modes that allow the user to toggle between speed enhancement, jump boosting, healing, or even all three simultaneously. Think of it like the Infinity Stone gauntlet of the game mode. Internally, the coil uses a developer UI that's only accessible by those with admin permissions. This interface lets them choose the desired effect in real time. The walk speed can be increased to over 60. Jump power can exceed 100, and the healing function restores health at a rapid rate. Because of the raw power behind this coil, it is never deployed in public matches and is used solely for debugging, demonstration, or promotional footage. Still, it has been spotted in various test environments and live streams, giving players a rare glimpse at what unbounded coil potential looks like in practice. The owner coil also changes color based on the active mode. For instance, activating speed mode might turn the coil blue, while healing could shift it to green or pink. This visual differentiation is helpful for viewers trying to identify what the developer is showcasing during live gameplay. While inaccessible, its mere presence acts as a benchmark against which all other coils are measured. One of the most popular fan-made coils is the secret coil, sometimes called the purple coil, found in the survival game Black Hole Core. This rare coil combines increased jump power and faster movement, surpassing the standard speed coil. It emits distinctive purple sparkles when equipped. However, in order to obtain it, players must find the green gem item hidden within the vent passageways of the game and insert it into the in-game gem cutter. Once processed, the gem yields the coil tool, granting both horizontal speed and vertical lift, an immense power advantage in the game. The coil is entirely game-specific and fan-made, meaning it cannot be purchased through the Roblox avatar shop or found in other titles. Its effectiveness lies in its balanced boost. It provides faster running without sacrificing your avatar's high jump capability, making it useful for navigating critical escape sequences during core meltdown events. The coil is often available in a limited drop once per round, depending on session progression. It remains dormant until a player successfully acquires and wields it, so those who know where to look consider it an essential strategic item in the advanced escape run. The Ultra Regeneration Coil provides one of the strongest passive healing effects available in the game, and it's part of the Horror Elevator game mode. When equipped, it continuously restores health at a faster rate compared to conventional regen tools. Mechanically, the Ultra Regeneration Coil sets the player's walk speed to exactly 47, a notable jump from the base value of 16. This enhanced velocity enables players to evade pursuers more effectively and navigate the map with greater urgency when the environment becomes dangerous. The coil also supports movement visually by adding a distinctive yellow particle trail that dynamically follows the player character, highlighting both speed and status. The health regeneration effect operates through a repeating script loop that increments the player's health at short intervals. The heal amount per tick remains lower than burst medkits but compensates via its frequency. To add, the Ultra Coil regenerates health slightly faster than the basic Regen Coil. Even though it does not exceed the Regen Coil's healing per second, it has a shorter delay between ticks, resulting in a smoother and more continuous effect. This constant healing is crucial during early round scrapes and tight encounters, enabling players to sustain themselves longer without consuming limited medical items. From a usage perspective, the Ultra Regeneration Coil shines in two principal situations: when chasing down escape routes, and when recovering from unavoidable damage during dangerous map events. In contrast to lesser recovery tools whose utility diminishes after taking multiple hits, the Ultra version maintains its full effect until the player is defeated or the coil is unequipped. This dual-purpose nature has made it a staple in high-round strategies, where both mobility and survivability are essential. The Ultra Regeneration Coil not only delivers statistically superior speed and steady health recovery, but also defines a design philosophy within. Rather than opting for overpowered single-function items, the coil facilitates balanced play by combining two core stats. That deliberate combination reflects a refined approach to gear design, one that values synergy between movement and survival rather than raw power. As a result, the Ultra Regeneration Coil continues to be among the most strategic choices available at mid-tier progression in the game. Even though this coil is a limited event coil, it deserves a mention due to how iconic it is. The Ghost Coil is a limited-time, fan-made item introduced during the Halloween event in Black Hole Core. It became available in the game's Spooky Store, requiring players to collect and spend 500 spirits earned during ghost encounters to unlock it for permanent purchase. Once unlocked, the coil can be bought in the in-game shop for 35 Robux, but only during the event's active period. Functionally, the Ghost Coil is a substantial upgrade over the standard Speed Coil, offering players a significant increase in walk speed when equipped. This improved mobility makes it easier to navigate maps, dodge hazards, and maintain pace during core meltdown scenarios. The coil includes no healing or jump enhancements, its focus is purely on movement speed. Although unlocked via Halloween mechanics, players who purchase it retain access afterward, and it remains in the regular shop inventory until the next event cycle or until it's removed from rotation. While we're on the list of harder to obtain coils, it's important to mention the extremely exclusive Rainbow Coil. The Rainbow Coil is a special, unobtainable item in Midnight Horrors, awarded exclusively to a single non-admin player, Draggy, as detailed on the official wiki. It is categorized under speed-enhancing tools and is noted for its rare distribution status. Functionally, the Rainbow Coil increases the player's movement speed and is recognized as the third fastest coil in the game, greatly surpassing both the Friend Coil and Heliotrope Coil, while remaining slower than the Emerald Coil. When Draggy activates the coil with the H key, it triggers a temporary speed boost, accompanied by a vibrant rainbow, afterimage, and particle effect, elevating the player's slipstream visually. In terms of aesthetic design, the coil produces a rainbow trail effect while running. Its uniqueness is underscored by the fact that it is one of only 2 speed coils in the game capable of changing colors, and is restricted to one player's account. Talk about OP. Additional trivia includes the coil emitting the Archvile alert sound from Doom 2 upon equipping, while using its activated boost produces a sound reminiscent of Metal Sonic from Sonic Mania. It also introduces a custom running animation, making it the first in the game to do so, later followed by the Speed, Ultra, and Heliotrope coils. Another one of the rare, unobtainable items in Midnight Horrors is called the Zone Coil, awarded exclusively to only one non-admin player, Real Neoru, as compensation for contributions toward Halloween event animations. It does not appear in the standard in-game shop and was never made available to the general player base. When used, the Zone Coil provides a slight speed boost, placing it a bit slower than the Ultra Coil, but it stands out through its unique active ability. By default, it flashes red and white, with its coiling animation visibly wrapped around the arm. More importantly, when the player uses its special ability, they receive a faster than Heliotrope coil speed buff, accompanied by Killer Ignore, a temporary immunity to killer detection, for 5 seconds. This ability enters a 60-second cooldown and resets with a game reload. The active state also triggers an electrical sound effect and background music which sync with a visualizer shown in-game. Visually, the coil oscillates in color during both passive and active phases, with more rapid flashing when the ability is active. In essence, the Zone Coil offers burst mobility and stealth advantages tailored to a single player. While unobtainable, its design and mechanics serve mainly as a developer-exclusive reward, illustrating the game's flexible item scripting and appreciation for community contribution. Moving on, we find that the Emerald Coil is one of the most powerful utility items available in Midnight Horrors. Introduced in version 1.172, it can be purchased from the in-game shop for 100 points. This price places it in the high-performance tier of the coil system, but still accessible to players who have accumulated a moderate amount of points. Upon equipping the Emerald Coil, the player receives the fastest publicly available walk speed among all standard gear items, setting the walk speed stat to 147. This is significantly higher than the Speed Coil's 41 or the Ultra Coil's 47. The sheer velocity allows players to outrun nearly every killer in the game, giving them a major advantage during survival phases. In addition to speed, the Emerald Coil also provides passive health regeneration. The healing effect is stronger than both the Ultra Coil and the Regen Coil, making it a top-tier dual-function tool for both mobility and survivability. This makes it particularly useful during extended rounds or high-difficulty events when rapid movement and on-the-go healing are critical. A notable mechanic of the Emerald Coil is its drain system. It costs 1 point per second to use, which basically encourages strategic deployment. Visually, the coil leaves behind a bright green trail and emits a green-tinted invincibility aura. When in use, the player also hears a distinct audio track, adapted from the Sonic 3 HD invincibility theme, which adds to the sensory experience. Despite the presence of admin-only or seasonal joke coils that may surpass it in speed or effects, the Emerald Coil is considered the strongest coil regularly available to players. Its combination of unmatched walk speed, reliable regeneration, and controlled usage cost makes it a favorite among high-level Midnight Horrors players. Last on our list for Midnight Horrors is the Glass Coil, a high-risk, high-reward item obtainable in the in-game shop for 150 points, first introduced in version 1.172. Described in the shop as fast as a bullet but fragile like, well, glass, this coil provides exceptional movement speed but comes with a significant drawback. Taking any damage destroys the coil. However, equipped players experience a substantial boost, making the glass coil the third fastest in the game, only below the top two coils. It outpaces the friend coil and features a distinctive white trail and sparkling effect during movement. But once the player sustains damage, the coil breaks and enters a 1-minute cooldown before it can be used again. Mechanically, it functions by boosting your walk speed and offering extreme mobility during unopposed runs. The trade-off is severe. A single hit not only destroys the coil but also inflicts extra damage and enforces a temporary speed penalty, making it unusable until the cooldown period ends. For strategic use, players often activate it in early chase sequences or when evading multiple killers. Its fragility requires careful timing. If used aggressively without sufficient control, the coil can backfire spectacularly. Its visual effects are also featured in the game's official trailer, showing off its splashy, fragile persona. Another well-known fan-made coil is in the Defend the Statue game, called the Arcane Coil. It draws inspiration from the original coil concept of the Regeneration Coil, but its effect is mana-related. The Arcane Coil appears as a translucent purple coil on the hero's avatar when bought. The Arcane Coil grants passive mana regeneration. In earlier waves, it restores a smaller amount slowly, plus 2.5 mana every 2 seconds. But in later in-game waves, it becomes stronger up to plus 5 mana every 1 second by late game. Essentially, you buy it to keep your mage hero's mana pool topped up automatically. Getting the Arcane Coil. In Defend the Statue is quite simple. It unlocks at Wave 6 and costs $2,500, just like the Radiant Coil. Once bought, it doesn't occupy an inventory slot since it's considered a passive utility. Unlike a single-use potion, it permanently adds mana regen for that round, and it's part of the normal progression in a run. The Arcane Coil is great for mage-type heroes who need a lot of mana, energy for spells. Because many heroes in Defend the Statue use mana to cast abilities, having extra mana regen is valuable. It's particularly recommended for heroes with high mana costs. However, note with caution, if you equip an expensive mage weapon, the Arcane Coil's mana restoration is temporarily reduced by 33% in order to balance gameplay and not let any one player be too OP. Otherwise, it quietly adds mana each few seconds. Defend the Statue also has its own speed coil item, slightly distinct from the official speed coil gear in Roblox and the horror elevator version, but it's definitely inspired by the former. This coil is a sprint ability for the hero, and it's unlocked via waves, just like the others. The in-game speed coil allows the player to sprint. When bought, holding the shift key makes the hero run faster than normal. While sprinting, the hero's movement speed is greatly increased and the exact multiplier grows with game waves. Sprinting costs stamina since the hero uses 10% stamina to start and drains it gradually while providing damage resistance. This speed coil in Defend the Statue is also unlocked at Wave 6 and costs $2,500, just like the other two coils, while being categorized as a Tier 2 utility in Wave 6. After purchase, it shows up as an icon or coil on your avatar's legs. To add, there's no time limitation. It's always available at the Wave 6 shop, if you have the money. In terms of strategy, Speed Coil is a sprint skill. In Defend the Statue, mobility can be crucial for dodging enemies or getting to objectives quickly. The trade-off is that your hero holsters their weapon and gains 25% of that weapon's damage resistance while sprinting, so you become harder to kill but can't attack while sprinting. Players use it to quickly dash away from danger or reposition. For example, if you see a boss with lethal melee, you sprint past it to the next area. The Andromeda Coil is another special fan-made coil item in Defend the Statue that essentially merges the effects of the Arcane, Radiant, and Speed coils. Its name means it's bigger than all the rest, and does multiple things at once. If you buy Andromeda Coil, you get passive health regen like Radiant Coil, passive mana regen like Arcane Coil, and the sprint ability like Speed Coil all in one item. So it's a mega utility coil. However, this OP coil unlocks much later in the game, Wave 15, and costs $5,000. It is a Tier 4 item and it won't appear until you reach that wave and have enough coins. It's essentially a late game buy, but for good reason since it's the ultimate utility item in Defend the Statue. If you buy it, you no longer need to separately buy Regen, Arcane, and Speed coils. You'll be sprinting and regenerating health and mana all at once. This makes your hero extremely versatile. Typically, a player would only go for Andromeda if they have excess coins, since earlier coils can be bought individually from Wave 6 onward. Many high-level players skip the individual coils and go straight for Andromeda as soon as it's unlocked, because it's more efficient to get one item instead of 3. When it comes to popularity, the Blessed Coil seems to win by being an exclusive, developer-only coil within Juke's Towers of Hell. Marketed as a boost item, it reduces gravity by approximately 80%, which surpasses even the powerful bootleg coil. This elevated jump capability allows holders to ascend towers with fewer steps, or to reach heights that are typically unreachable with standard tools. Design-wise, it appears as a neon yellow coil with sparkly, radiant particles surrounding the player, visually signaling its elite status. Because the coil is reserved for JTOH developers only, it's categorized as unobtainable by regular players. Designed for testing and building, as well as occasional speedrun demonstrations, but it's never offered in an event or purchasable form. Mechanically, the Blessed Coil does not enhance movement speed or provide healing benefits. Its core strength lies in drastically reduced gravity, granting both higher jumps and slower falling speeds. This makes it ideal for debugging tower logic or stress testing obby layouts. It's also blocked in towers that ban boost items. Holders can bypass no-gear restrictions due to its developer-only status. Which brings us to the last on our list, a truly popular coil, and as usual, a variant of the official Speed Coil. It's clear that most players enjoy the Lightning McQueen treatment. One of the most widely recognized fan-made coils in the Roblox community is the Hyper Speed Coil, found in Pinewood Builder's Computer Core PBCC and also featured in Mega Miners, two prominent simulation-style experiences. The Hyper Speed Coil enhances movement by gradually increasing the player's walk speed up to approximately 55 over a few seconds when equipped. Some variants, like those in Mega Miners, push speed values even higher, up to 160 walk speed, depending on the environment and the game's economy model. In Pinewood Builder's Computer Core, it is available in the in-game credit shop for 250 credits. In Mega Miners, it appears as a Game Pass purchase that grants access to extreme mobility-enhancing capabilities. Technically, the coil uses a timed ramp-up script. When equipped, it slowly increases walk speed over 3 seconds. Taking damage temporarily interrupts its effect, applying a cooldown of around 5 seconds before it recharges. This design places emphasis on high-speed movement while balancing risk in combat or hazardous zones. Players choose the Hyper Speed Coil when exploring vast maps, racing through missions, or escaping threatening encounters quickly. Its gradual acceleration mechanic gives anticipation before the full speed effect, and when activated it offers one of the fastest non-virtual items available in those games. Because it is easily visible in walkthroughs, YouTube showcases, and speedrun strategies, it has become a staple reference for fan-made coil mobility systems on Roblox. Overall, the Hyper Speed Coil's combination of dynamic speed scaling, accessibility in 2 major games, and visibility via community content make it a truly popular and influential fan design, widely discussed and used across different player groups. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and you also might enjoy watching these. Thanks.